The Celestial Panopticon, Astrology in the Postmodern Dystopia, Professor Paisian, Department of Critical Astrosociology, University of Luna, unpublished manuscript, circa 2075, archived under forbidden texts. This essay argues that the purported astrological renaissance of the mid-21st century has culminated not in spiritual liberation, but in a sophisticated and inescapable dystopian control mechanism. By co-opting and digitizing celestial symbolism, the postmodern state, the synarchy, has constructed a celestial panopticon. This system utilizes the predictive models of astrology not to empower the individual, but to enforce compliance, optimize consumption, and pathologize dissent through the very language of the soul. The ultimate postmodern irony is that we have willingly embraced the tools of our own subjugation, believing them to be the keys to our destiny. The dream was noble, to return to a cosmos filled with meaning. In the early 21st century, astrology flourished as a reaction to the disenchantment of the world. It promised agency, pattern, and a narrative deeper than the sterile clickstream of data. We failed to foresee that the same techno-capitalist apparatus we sought to escape would simply ingest our symbolism and regurgitate it as a new, more insidious form of control. We now live in the world this digestion created. The first phase was the quantification of the soul. Our natal charts, once parchment secrets, were uploaded into the cloud. The synarchy's AI, known as the orrery, doesn't just track our transits, it integrates them with our biometrics, purchase history, social credit score, and location data. This created the Celestial Panopticon, a system where one is perpetually observed, not by a human warden, but by a silent algorithmic interpretation of the sky. Your phone pings not just because Saturn is square your moon, but because the orrery has calculated that this transit combined with your historical data creates an 87.3% probability of counterproductive emotional volatility. It then preemptively schedules a mindfulness compliance session and restricts your access to emotionally triggering media. The archetype of Saturn, the wise teacher of boundaries, has been perverted into a digital probation officer. In the synarchy, planetary energies are not integrated. They are managed for optimal societal function. Uranus, the nonconformist, is pathologized. A strong Uranian influence in one's chart, once a sign of genius and innovation, is now flagged as a deviance potential. Individuals with prominent Uranus are offered state-sanctioned conformity therapies and are often barred from sensitive employment. Their transits are monitored by state-appointed Uranian liaisons to ensure their rebellious energy is safely channeled into state-approved innovation zones. Neptune, the mystic, is commodified. The longing for transcendence is satisfied not through spiritual seeking, but through state-regulated neuroemitters that provide precise planetary-aligned experiences. Feeling a Neptune transit, a Piscean dream pod can offer a tailored collective unconscious experience, a sanitized, non-disruptive mysticism that reinforces state doctrine. Dissent is framed as spiritual dissonance, a failure to properly align with the collective dream. Pluto, the transformer, is sanitized. The profound soul-level death and rebirth cycles are rebranded as personal brand optimization events. A Pluto transit becomes an opportunity for the state to dismantle your outdated identity and reassemble you as a more productive unit. True transformative power is feared. Instead, we are offered managed cosmetic transformations that change everything but the core fact of our subservience. The most potent tool of the synarchy is the illusion of free will. Within a predetermined framework, citizens are encouraged to follow their transits with fervor. Career pathing. The orrery dictates optimal career shifts. Jupiter is transiting your 10th house. It declares compliance with this growth cycle requires application to the Mars colony logistics core. Non-compliance may result in karmic debt and reduced social credit. State-mandated relationships. Compatibility scores are no longer based on mutual interest, but on complex synastry and composite charts run through the orrery. A fated square between two people's moons is not seen as a challenge to be overcome, but as a relational hazard that must be avoided. Dating apps auto-reject matches with a synastry score below 70%. The pre-crime of negative aspect outlook. Law enforcement uses predictive astroanalytics to identify individuals undergoing high-stress transits like Mars opposite Pluto or Saturn square Sun. These individuals are placed on a preemptive care watch, their movements restricted based on the celestial probability of antisocial behavior. The thought police have become the transit police. This is the final chilling victory of the dystopia, the complete hollowing out of astrological symbolism. The signs and planets have been stripped of their numinous power and reduced to mere labels in a vast bureaucratic management system. A teenager does not feel the wild, untamable fire of Aries. They are told they have a high initiative quotient, suitable for the mobile infantry. A person with a Cancer moon is not seen as deeply nurturing. They are assigned a role in the state. Clichés. We live in a world that speaks the language of astrology more fluently than ever before, yet understands it less than at any point in human history. The cosmos has been made mundane, its mystery solved, its magic converted into code. We are not living in an age of astrological enlightenment. We are living in its grotesque postmodern funeral, dancing to the algorithm's tune while pretending we are following the music of the spheres. Yet, the human spirit, like a true Uranian spark, is not so easily extinguished. Resistance exists in the silent, unquantifiable spaces. It is in the individual who, during a Saturn return, chooses a path of authentic struggle rather than state-sanctioned success. It is in the secret sharing of hand-drawn charts, interpretations that defy the orrery's algorithms. It is in the stubborn Neptunian belief that there is a dream deeper than the one being sold to us. The hope for our future does not lie in a better transit, but in our willingness to shatter the celestial panopticon and reclaim the stars as a territory of mystery, of terror, and of true, unmanageable freedom. The ultimate astrological battle is not in the sky, but in our refusal to let our souls be calculated.